Hello, sir. Today, we'll be giving a video recorded presentation about our findings in the uses and the gratification theory. We'll mainly be discussing the history, origin, and background, evolution, and development, the important concepts, critics, and future developments of the theory. Early uses and gratifications theory roots can be identified. This idea originated in the 1940s and 1950s. When media consumption exports perspective altered, the 1940s notion explored why individuals consume so many media outlets. This period challenged the idea of media users as passive viewers of media. Researchers examined why people use different media outlets. The gratification theory in media studies came about in the middle of the 20th century as a reaction to the passive way that media users were portrayed. This new point of view tried to explain the reasons why people choose the media they do and the benefit of those decisions. Some well-known experts who took part in this debate were Elihu Katz, J.G. Blumler, and Michael Gurevich. Katz, Blumler, and Gurevich's study in the 1970s standardized and built on the previous work. About challenge to traditional models 1940s to 1950s. Communication experts argued against the hypodermic needle idea in the 1940s and 1950s. This idea said that media messages had a direct and uniform effect on passive viewers. Researchers like Paul Lazarsfeld and Elihu Katz emphasized how active the public is in consuming media, which changed the paradigm. About the rise of audience-centered approaches. In the 1960s, people paid more attention to the role of the listener in communication, focused on motivations. Scholars examined media choices and content engagement motivations. About formalization of UNG theory. It was Elihu Katz, J. Blumler, and Michael Gurevich who made the UNG method official in the 1970s. In their paper called Uses and Gratifications Research, they suggested a methodical way to study how people use media that was based on their wants and needs. The last one, Katz, Blumler, and Gurevich put media gratifications into 4 groups: entertainment, information, personal identity, and social integration. UNG uses polls, conversations, and studies of their audiences. This strategy changed. The researchers focused from how media affects people to why people picked different media and what they got of it. Okay, next, my partner will continue the presentation.
Hello teacher, let me introduce UGT now. First, I will introduce the important concepts of UGT, the use and gratification theory, sometimes known as UGT. It's an expansive model that investigates the complex relationship that exists between individuals who consume various forms of media and the form of medium with which they choose to interact. The theory is based on a number of essential notions, concepts, and assumptions, all of which contribute individually and together to the explanatory power it possesses in regards to comprehending audience behavior. And as the slide says, the use and gratification theory posits that individuals actively engage with media, making intentional choice to fulfill specific physiological, social, and cultural needs, recognizing audience as an active participants rather than passive consumers. The theory emphasizes the role of media in addressing individual needs for information, personal identity, social integration, entertainment, and escapism. Users are viewed as media literature and competent, strategically selecting content that aligns with their existing beliefs and performance. Move on to the assumption or arguments for the theory. An essential presumption of UGT is that individuals consciously search for particular forms of media in order to satisfy their own requirements. UGT contends that people are engaged in the process of picking the medium that most closely matches with their physiological and social requirements. This is in contrast to the classic communication models, which represent audience as being passive receivers of message. This presumption emphasizes the agency of media consumers and emphasizes the concept that every individual may have distinct motivations and reasons for selecting a certain medium. In addition, there are also 5 assumptions about UGT, respectively are active audience, individual gratifications, selective exposure, user-driven motivations, driver needs, and rejects passion audience model. For critics of theory, scholars at UNG might have been the harshest critics of themselves. Detractors like Stanford have criticized alleged shortcomings like a lack of internal consistency, a mismatch between the analytical model and operational definitions, and the theoretical justifications for the model presented. The discussion ranged from the results, which do not support their theoretical understandings. Stanford complained similarity. Proponents of media hegemony have urged that the UNG theory goes too far in claiming that people are free to choose the media context and interpretations they want. Furthermore, UGT has come under fire for failing to sufficiently address the dimension of power in media consumption. Thus, a lot of the criticism that has been leveled at UNG in recent time and focused on challenging certain perceptions, such as individual media selections, expectations for media use resulting from social interaction, individual predispositions, and environmental factors, and engaged audience engaging in angle direction median behavior. Now let's move on to the last part of the potential future development of the theory. The potential future development of the use and gratifications approach in mass communication theory is poised to undergo a renaissance driven by the rapid advancements in telecommunications technology and the transformative impact of digital media on audience consumption patterns. Historically, the UNG approach faced skepticism from scholars studying mass media, but the evolving media landscape, characterized by the deregulation of the communications sector and the convergence of digital technology with traditional mass media, has brought renewed attention to this theory. Moreover, the UNG approach provides a framework that accommodates the complexities of audience behavior in the digital age, where users actively participate in content creations, distributions, and consumptions. The theory's continued relevance lies in its ability to capture the multifaceted nature of media usage, acknowledging that individuals derive gratifications from diverse media sources and that these sources are constantly evolving. That's all. Thanks.